Hello, and welcome to The Ganru Show. I'm Golda.
And I'm Wanru.
And this is a podcast that's just like hanging out with your two best girlfriends.
In this podcast, we'll be tackling the subject of minimalism and decluttering.
Good one. It's like having that little black dress and finding it at your favorite store and then realizing that you don't have anything like it in your closet.
It's like having all the Christmas decorations, but not having to take them down or store them.
Oh, that's perfect. It's like having a closet that is like one of those model closets at IKEA.
Oh, have you ever gone to IKEA and pretend you live there?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I turn on the make-believe stove and open the make-believe refrigerator and have a make-believe pasta dinner.
In today's episode, you will find out why Golda loves her macadamia nuts.
And you will also find out why Wanru only has 3 books in her house.
Do you really need more?
Yes, you do. You only have 3, and you'll find out why. Why is that?
So, let's get started.
For our first segment, we wanted to talk about the best thing that we learned this week. So, Wanru, share with the good people and myself, what is the best thing that you learned this week?
So this week, I actually have a topic contributed by a listener.
What? Do tell. What does that mean?
It's my friend Alejandro. Thank you so much. He texted this to me because he said it would be a great thing to talk on our about on our podcast.
Okay.
Can you believe that?
I can't wait to
Our
hear.
Listener interaction
Yes.
here.
See, it can happen to you.
You can be highlighted on the Ganru show.
This is from Alejandro.
Exactly. I'm not going to say his last name to respect his privacy, but Alejandro, you know who you are.
And he lives in Los Angeles?
Orange County. Is that revealing too much?
Oh, okay. Orange County.
Yeah, all right. Shout out to Orange County.
Orange County, California. Okay.
And it's a doozy and it's so good.
Okay.
All right.
Let me buckle down.
So every year the flu goes around.
Mm-hmm.
The common cold or influenza. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And researchers at the Scripps Institute in La Jolla have found a discovery that might help us battle that. Okay. And the title of the article from Los Angeles Times, and you can search it yourself, is "Scientists may have found the key ingredient for a universal flu vaccine, and it comes from llamas."
Okay.
Do you know what llamas are?
Yeah, they're in all these greeting cards that I see everywhere now.
I know, right? With their heads poking up.
It used to be a bird. Remember when they said put a bird on it? Now it's put a llama on it.
It really is.
Yeah.
To make it cute and trendy,
yeah.
Put a llama on it. For those who are not aware of what a llama, how would you describe a llama?
Just like a little baby camel.
Oh, good one.
Right? Looks like a little baby camel. But I don't know if llamas are... Is it llama or llama? Am I just being international there? Is it llama?
I don't know. I've never heard it as llama. But it's spelled with 2 L's. So.
It's the llama then.
Okay. Well,
LL? Is it really? I don't know. I'm not
we will
well
fact check.
versed. Okay.
We'll fact check this sometime in the future and report back on the llama debate. But they do look like a really cute camel with no humps.
Okay.
Long neck, big eyes with long eyelashes. They're known for their long eyelashes and their adorable faces.
Yes.
And they like to usually give them a haircut where they have these mop tops.
Okay.
Because, they're like sheep. You can shave them for their wool.
Oh.
Or
you can have llama wool?
What do you call it?
A llama? Llámame. I'm available. No.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Llámame in Espanol, Spanish means call me.
Oh.
Llámame. I really want to know now if it's llama or llama. But anyway, you're saying they have these mop tops?
They have these mop tops and they give them these cute haircuts and they do harvest their wool.
Okay.
They should make a line of sweaters called Yamame.
Oh, man.
Bookmark. Nope. Trademark.
Bookmark. Don't even think about it. LL Bean.
Exactly. Okay. So I guess besides for being adorably cute and having great fur, and I think they're residents of South America, native residents of South America, but they're now kind of spreading all over the world because they're so cute. They have amazing immune systems.
Oh.
And they make these antibodies. So, you know, you and I make antibodies, which are proteins that like fight off organisms, right?
Yes.
That invade our body. Mm-hmm. God, they're so freaking cute. So they have these little tiny antibodies that we don't have called nanobodies.
Okay.
So they have more specialized, smaller antibodies against like diseases that they might get. So they have super immunity. So they're trying to take this sort of biological defense mechanism and transfer it over to us. So, you know, every year you get a flu vaccine, right?
Yeah.
So they think that if we can somehow transfer this technology over to humans, they can make a flu vaccine where you don't have to get a shot.
Every year.
Yeah, they just spray it up your nose.
And then how long is that good for?
Hopefully your body will be immunized against the flu. It'll be good
forever
for that flu season.
Oh, okay.
For that flu season, because you know how it is. It's like every season you're gonna get immunized for the flu.
What's the benefit of getting the Yamame versus a regular flu vaccine?
Number one, you shoot it up your nose instead of getting it shot in the arm. Yeah.
Okay. What else?
And potentially, I don't know. They're still working on the technology. Is that because of the way this protein works? It'll defend you against a more variety of flus.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah. For those of you who aren't familiar with how the flu vaccine works, it's literally a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to predict the future, right?
Right.
They're trying to predict what viruses might come around this year. Is it going to come from a chicken? Is it going to come from a bird? It usually comes from some kind of animal and it gets transferred to us. So they make this cocktail of proteins, which they think should immunize you. But some years they get it really good and some years it's bad. It's kind of like the Olympics. Like sometimes USA gets the gold and sometimes USA doesn't even qualify for that event. So the llama proteins are, I guess, more, what's the word? They're like more potent. And so hopefully it will protect you against a larger variety of viruses. So
are places like Walmart and CVS and, you know, these places that you can go to get flu vaccines, are they going to start carrying these Yamame vaccines? Or is it just in introductory research stages right now?
Hey, by the way, Bayer, don't even try to copyright this Yamame vaccine right now. Okay? Whatever. All these Pfizer, don't even try, okay? All these pharmaceutical companies. The goal is with development, it should be readily available.
Wow.
But it may take years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the coolest thing I learned this week.
That's very exciting because you're right. It is a crapshoot. I feel like I've been getting a flu vaccine for the last couple of years and I feel like I haven't really gotten the full blown flu.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've always gotten sick like every other year or something. But it's not necessarily the flu. It's just a really bad cold. So maybe the flu vaccine that I'm getting is just curbing the severity of the flu.
Could be.
But it would be great to have the Yamame every year and then I just get it up my nose. Like a Flonase. It's like Flonase, right? That's how I'm imagining it.
Yeah.
Like just shoot it up your nose. Not like anything else that you would put up your nose. So like Flonase, and then you're done. You're good for that season, and it'll protect you from other things. Wouldn't it be great if there were also some other byproducts to being inoculated from the flu and other variations of the flu? Wouldn't it be great if like in addition to not getting sick, you also really got really great eyelashes?
And then you become irresistibly adorable.
Yes.
Oh my
and your
God.
hair was so fluffy and you can cut it and make it into a sweater. I mean, that would be like slam dunk.
But what if you get all the bad stuff? Like, you know, you belch all the time. You're always chewing your curd.
Yeah, your neck gets really, really long.
Super long.
Too long. There's a such thing as having a too long neck, Gwyneth. But anyway.
You know, the funny thing is, the best thing I ever saw was on BuzzFeed or something. This girl's dad went to Chile, wherever they have these llamas. And he texted her these series of photos of him hugging a llama and saying, this is the softest, cuddliest animal I have ever hugged. And I'm so happy right now. He's made me so happy.
Aww.
Her like 60-year-old dad like was so happy because of a llama.
Oh, I believe that.
What if the vaccine can make you that enjoyable?
Yeah, can be. It's like a happy. Gosh, I think we're on to something.
Yeah, Pfizer.
Don't even think about it.
Mm-mm.
You know who else has a long neck? Now that I think about it,
oh no,
Rachel Maddow has a really long neck.
This is the commentator from CNBC.
From CNN, she's the journalist. What's that? Oh, MSNBC. Sorry. Yeah, MSNBC. Yeah. She is a commentator or journalist, news host.
What do you got against that? It's better to have a long neck than a short, squat neck.
All right. It's fine to have a medium-ish neck.
Golda's right now trying to make her neck longer. Stretch it out.
I mean, that's a long way. Like, can you imagine if you're swallowing something, how long it takes?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's like seconds out of your life. You don't need that kind of subtraction. Anyhow.
So that is the best thing I learned this week.
Wonderful. I love llama llamas.
Golda, what about you? I'm dying to hear what yours is.
Well, mine is I stumbled across a book which has been around for a while. So you know me. I don't know how long it's been around, but it's a book called The Originals, How Non-Conformists Move the World. It's written by a gentleman by the name of Adam Grant. And it's a New York Times bestseller. You'll probably see it in the business section or self-help section, psychology section. And the premise of it is this particular author studied the habits of highly original professionals, and he's able to dispel any myths related to originality. He also tries to answer the questions of how do you generate good new original ideas? How do you know that it's good, that the ideas are good? How do you know how to execute those ideas? And he uses in the first I just started. So in the first chapter, he talks about the eyeglass manufacturer, Warby Parker.
Oh, yes.
And how it was started by these young guys that wanted to have a way to get glasses to individuals and not have it cost an arm and a leg. So if you go to your ophthalmologist and you have to pay for frames, you know how expensive it is, right?
Sure.
And then add on to that the lenses, add on to that the special coating, add on to that if you have astigmatism, if you need progressive, you know, it's like it just adds up to something really expensive, even with insurance. So Warby Parker said, "Hey, we have this idea. We make it affordable. We'll get it in front of people. Blah blah blah." And they were shot down a lot. Their idea was shot down because they said, "Oh, what you're talking about Zappos. It's already been done, so might as well move on." Well, the good news was that they didn't listen to these naysayers, and they were actually able to run and produce this really wonderful company. I think in its first year, it surpassed all of its projections, so much so that they were backlogged, by many several hundreds, if not thousands of units, because the demand was so high. So the point of Adam Grant bringing that example is that they didn't just stay to their lane in a corporate setting. They didn't just say, "Okay, this is what we're good at. Let's just keep going on this lane." They looked at an idea, a business plan that had already existed, and they just tweaked it a little bit. They added their flair of originality to it, and they were able to make this wonderful company that serves thousands upon thousands of people. And what I really liked about it, at least initially that I'm reading about it, is that in many a corporate setting, you find people who are just going to stick to the lane, uphold the legacy of whatever the company is, and that's successful. You are successful if you do that. But what he is trying to introduce is, why not listen to the people who are going against the grain a little bit, that might be challenging the way that you normally do things, and give them a platform with which to try those things out. So I thought that was really that was welcome information to read about, because I happen to believe that as well. That in order to innovate, you don't have to be a Steve Jobs or Wozniak or Elon Musk. You can do a lot of mini innovations within your own department or within your own skill sets.
Interesting.
So Adam Grant, originals.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your takeaway from that first section of the book or his philosophy is that changing the standard way of doing business or changing the standard way of doing something can actually be very productive? Is that what the takeaway is?
Yes, absolutely. I think that if you want the same thing, but with just a different frame around it, then fine. But if you want to create something, then oftentimes people won't, as Steve Jobs said before he introduced the iPad, I remember reading that a lot of executives at Apple and in other tech companies, when Jobs had said, this is an idea, this iPad, touch screen, all these things that we have now commonly known are the abilities of an iPad. He was introducing all of this stuff, and the response from a lot of folks at that time were a lot of naysayers, like, "Oh, that's impossible. People will never buy that. What are they going to use an iPad for? They have a laptop, they have a desktop.
They have an iPhone.
Why would they need an iPad? That's just a waste of money. This is going to be a big flop." And his response was that the public won't know what they need until you bring it to them.
Dang.
The public won't know what they need. And it was absolutely true. They didn't know they needed it until it existed.
Actually, I remember the launch of the iPad, and people should have already been familiarized with a personal device because the iPhone had been very popular already by that time. But I remember I was laughing at that name.
Why?
iPad.
Oh, got it.
iPad. And I was like,
does it have wings?
Exactly. See, we forget now because when we hear iPad now, all we think about is that tablet, right? But I know what Steve Jobs was trying to do.
What?
Because, he's all about the vision. iPhone, iPod, iPad. He couldn't do iPhone, iPod, iTablet.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring.
iNotebook. iHandheld.
iSquare.
iSquare. iRectangle. You didn't even know you wanted this. See, he couldn't say that he had a vision. And I'm sure lots of people poo-pooed his idea. Like, iPad, that sounds bad, Steve. Steve, it doesn't.
I don't get it.
It doesn't have a ring to it. Like, like a notepad. Like, I don't know. Like, no, Steve. And Steve was like, you don't have the vision. I have this vision. And I'm going to bring something that is so revolutionary. Yaba. I can't say this word. Say it again.
Revolutionary?
It's so revolutionary. You guys will have forgotten what the heck a pad is.
Right.
Right. Because now when I hear iPad, I don't think of the maxi pad. Do you?
No, I didn't until you mentioned it. I've been brainwashed.
But when I first heard it, I giggled a little bit. And everybody giggled a little bit.
Interesting.
It sounded so lame. But now, you're right, Steve.
Yeah. Right. We didn't know. We didn't know we needed it until it was introduced.
Exactly.
See?
So, original.
Yeah. It's called the Originals, How Non-Conformists Move the World by Adam Grant.
And pretty much in the future, thanks to original thinking, we're going to be sniffing llama antibodies.
Yeah.
Talk about out of the box.
Who would have I don't think it would have been in anybody's imagination.
Where? I have to do research. Like, how did they come up with this llama thing?
I want to know the scientist who thought this.
Right.
Yeah, like, was the scientist just hanging out at the llama farm one day? Yeah. And just started sniffing up the llama? And said, hey, I feel really good right now.
Or maybe he was standing next to a llama. He went, achoo! And he sneezed on the llama, and the llama was like, what up? Like, didn't bother me. I'm not sick. Or one llama sneezed on another llama.
And they're good to go.
They're good to go.
They're good to go.
They coughing in each other's faces.
Oh, man, there's so many. I mean, there's got to be a behind the scenes video on the...
We will follow up in a future podcast. But those were the best things that we learned this week. Now we're moving on to our main topic, minimalism and decluttering. Golda just grimaced right now. Golda, why did you have that reaction to this topic, and why did you want to talk about it in general?
Oh, boy. I think it's because I struggle with clutter. decluttering and organization. Like when I think about that, I think about that in a home scenario.
And just to be clear, we're going to talk about stuff today. We're going to talk about our homes and our cars and the things we own, because minimalism could be like a lifestyle, right? But today we're just going to talk about stuff, which is definitely a hairy topic.
Sure is. It feels like a Mount Kilimanjaro.
Wow.
To someone like me.
Wow, tell me about that. Give me a little background on this mountain analogy.
Well, I think that for me, I grew up in a, middle class household. And I am 1.5 generation, which basically means that my parents were born in another country, the Philippines, grew up in the Philippines for most of their lives, and then came to America when they were in their 20s. And then me and my sister were brought to America when we were very young. I was 2 years old, and my sister was 5 or 6 years old. So that's why I say 1.5 generation. And the Philippines is a third world country. And so coming to America, it was considered the land of milk and honey, the land of plenty, right? So growing up, we would go to the Philippines every single year. And for the year, my parents had big boxes, if you would imagine a moving box, like when you're moving houses or apartments, would have moving boxes filled to the brim with things that they were going to bring back to the Philippines as gifts. So as examples, they would bring canned goods, candy, clothes, you name it, they would bring it from America to the Philippines. And these things would be gifts and souvenirs from America. So they were always, it almost felt like every single weekend we would go to the mall or Home Depot or somewhere, or Rite Aid, wherever the sales were, we would go and just acquire all of these things and just start plopping them into boxes that we would then travel with that summer when we visited the Philippines. So I think I grew up thinking that you always had to have stuff in the house.
Gotcha.
Right. And I also remembered, because we had this fear of like being homeless or like someone losing their job or someone or having to go back to our country because we couldn't afford America anymore. So I remember, even though my parents never said like, oh, we're afraid of being homeless or living on food stamps or anything like that, or going hungry, they never said it, but their actions were very much like, we were like squirrels.
Yes.
Saving nuts for the winter. We always had a room or a closet or the boxes just full of shit. It was as if we were preparing for the apocalypse.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
And it is not an unusual circumstance to be in at all. I would say maybe 80 to 90% of people in America can probably relate to your situation, and to some degree. I know I definitely can. Just that fear of scarcity.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Fear of scarcity. And actually my coworker to this day, and he lives alone. He lives like in a 2-bedroom condo. He has lots of space. He has 2 refrigerators, with freezers, and they're both stocked full of food for one person.
Wow.
And he says, I would rather have too much and throw some away than too little, because I just want to be comfortable and I don't want to have that fear in my mind that I'm not going to have anything to eat.
Yeah. And it's when I think about it, it's sort of not the best mindset to always have the mindset of scarcity, right? Because if we are to believe in, the energy that we believe or think or live with is what you will manifest. If you believe that, then aren't you just destined to have a life of scarcity? So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah. And by the way, there's always a spectrum to these things. And I've been to Golda's house. I've hung out with Golda. I do not think she has a problem. So you do not.
Thanks, Wanru.
So let me just say, we are going to outline some tips I guess I'm going to be the resident expert.
I think you need to be the tip giver.
I will be the tip giver. But we always say these things.
My tip is, if you see it on sale, buy 12 of them. Maybe not the best tip.
And then where do you put it, Golda?
Just shove them where there's an empty space.
So what I'll do is I'll outline some benefits of minimalism and the minimalism mindset and how decluttering can really improve your life. But we're not judging you.
Well, Wanru, you were mentioning earlier, like if you were to look at the spectrum on a scale of 1 to 10.
Ooh, let's talk about the spectrum. Yeah.
So 10 being the hoarders that you see on TV that like are buried. They themselves are buried in just stuff.
Right. Or they will have like a 1,500 square foot house and live in a room the size of their closet because there's so much stuff that they have no room to even move around. Mm-hmm. And I saw one episode where this woman's cats her dead cats were like piled under all this garbage. Yeah. So let's say that's a 10. Let's say that's a 10.
And then a 1 is
like a Buddhist monk who only has 5 items, like his robe, his bowl for begging for food, his beads.
And then like a comb. And sandals.
5. That's 5.
There it is.
Okay.
And he's happy as a clam.
Okay, let's say 1 is the Buddhist monk and 10 is the hoarder.
Right.
Extreme hoarder. Where would you place yourself in this spectrum?
Well, I would say probably, a 5-6.
That's okay. It's an average American. Maybe a little more, a little extra.
Yeah. Me? Yeah, maybe 5-6.
5-6. And I agree with you. I've been in her home and I would agree you're a 5-6.
And so what are you?
I would say I used to be a 4 to 5.
Okay.
4.5. Let's make it precise. But now I'm probably 4.0 to 3.5.
Okay. So you have mastered the art of minimalism and you have been successful in living a life of no clutter.
I would say I probably have less items than the average American by far.
Okay.
And I'll show you I'll demonstrate to you why I think that is. But I try to be mindful of minimalism, but I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. And I think it's a very hard thing to be a perfect minimalist. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I'll just give you my barometer. So I live in a townhouse and there are 4 other units. And every townhouse has a 2-car garage.
Okay.
I am our family is the only family that can park 2 cars in the garage.
Oh.
Although it is a 2-car garage.
Okay.
Because most of people put their extra stuff in the garage. Okay. So 2 of the units only park 1 car and the other one has to park on the street. And the last unit can't park any cars.
Oh.
And they have to park on all their cars. They have 3 cars. They have to park them all on the street.
Okay.
And then they piss me off because they don't park in their garage. So what they do is they park in front of their garage and then I can't back out. They're the ones I'm always fighting with.
Oh.
And I feel like saying, if you just clear out your garage, you can park in the garage and then you won't block me every day.
Oh, wow, that's irritating.
That's irritating. Yeah. Unrelated. Anyways, so I have an interest in this because I read a book in 2005 called Affluenza. Speaking of influenza.
Oh, what is affluenza?
Affluenza. How overconsumption is killing us and how to fight back by John Graaf.
Oh.
So this is a book that came out in 2005, and which is just that the general cycle of consumerism in America where something new comes out, you buy it, it gives you a temporary fix.
Yeah.
And then you get tired of it, go back to the store. So how buying things gives us a little lift, but it really goes nowhere in the end.
Sure.
And there's a little bit of competition among people sometimes, like what car you're driving, or now it's like what phone you have, or maybe what purse you're carrying. So it talked about how this cycle leads to more and more consumption and less happiness.
Okay.
So that was a good book to help me get started on that idea. Just to, sort of, I didn't embrace minimalism. It was just kind of floating in the back of my head.
What is the benefit of minimalism?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Help me understand this way.
See, sorry, I should back up and say,
what is it?
Why would you even want to be interested in this topic? Because I could totally see you. I could see your point of view. Why not have a backup?
Yeah.
Why not have extra food?
Yeah.
Right? It's what happens is when your stuff gets in the way of what you really want to be doing and focusing on. So if you have so much stuff that you can't find the thing that you really need, that would be a problem. Number two, if you feel like you have so
guilty laugh.
And it's okay. By the way, again, this is a no judgment zone. We're going to air out all our dirty secrets today.
I'm so judging myself.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
And others. No, I'm just kidding. But I am.
But the thing is,
I'm not.
Everybody does this. Okay, so have you ever bought something and come home and found you've already have many of those types of items?
Yes, black pants. Black pants and peasant tops. You know those peasant style tops?
Yeah, oh, by the way.
They now call it prairie tops. It's no prairie top. It's a peasant top. But anyway.
Can I compliment your lovely black pants and your blousey blouse?
Yes. I've got 20 more just like it in the closet.
Okay, so there's that. You feel like you've wasted money, right?
Yes.
Sometimes because you come home, you're like, I have this already,
yes.
but I couldn't find it, right? That's another stress. Another benefit of minimalism is that you cannot really appreciate the things you truly love because there's so much stuff in the way of it. Imagine if you had a piece of art that you love. Maybe it's hidden someplace and you removed everything around it, you would be able to appreciate it more.
Right.
Yeah. And on top of that, there's saving money, saving time, all of those things. And also clearing your mental capacity. Because every time you look at clutter and mess, you get in a state of, oh God, like this is so irritating. I need to clean that up.
And it's overwhelming. You almost feels like it's paralyzing. Like you can't do other things because you're just living in the clutter.
Yeah. So that your stuff is actually a mental weight on you.
Yeah.
It's giving you negative associations. So now it's the balance is tipping, right? From where I'm comfortable to my stuff is making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So minimalism is about bringing that balance back and redefining our relationship with material things.
You know, what's interesting who shed a light on kind of minimalism, but she called it something else.
Who's that?
It was our friend Elaine.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So
what did she say?
So my family home used to have a front room, which is where the front door was. So it's sort of a mishmash. So the front room was considered it was supposed to be a den, but then it ended up being like the place that we put all of our toilet paper and Costco stuff. And then it became a place that we put all of our old electronics. And we didn't know what to do with it. And then it became a place to put all of our like office supplies. And then at one point there was a treadmill in there. So it was so jam packed. Like literally I would have to like slide to the side just to get in between things. And it got so bad that we no longer used our front door anymore. And the front door got sealed shut.
What?
Because of no use. It was no use. So I remember telling our friend Elaine about this, and she is a big fan and practitioner of Feng Shui.
Oh.
And she told me that according to the tenets of Feng Shui, your front door should be clear because that is the door where all of the energy comes in.
And some people believe good fortune.
Right. And good fortune.
And did you run home and you're like, I got to clear the stuff away from
I'm like, hello, junks are us. Come over ASAP. No. So what happened was that really, and I told my mom about it and, she's like, no, I understand. And fast forward about 2 years. So it took some time. We slowly but surely, because there was a lot of stuff in there that was like, we didn't know how to get rid of it.
Sure.
So I think we got paralyzed by that, like just not knowing how to get rid of shit. Right. So we're like, nah, we'll do it next week. And then next week becomes like a year later. And ultimately we ended up getting rid of all the stuff. In addition, we ended up knocking down that wall.
Wow.
And opening up the space. So now it's this big, like open concept space. And I will tell you the difference between the way it was when it was cluttery and all that to how it is now, where it's now open. There's zero clutter. The energy that you feel in the room and in the house has changed. the energy in the house has made me at least feel lighter, made me feel more productive, like I can do stuff, that I'm not weighted down by anything. So there is something to it.
Totally. I was going to say that that's what stuff does. Sometimes it causes you to be distracted.
Yeah.
Because if your eyes span a room or a desk and you're trying to work and there's a lot of things, your eyes get fixated on these little things. And every time you see an object, you have a thought about it. Like you go, oh, I should throw it away. Oh, how long has that been there? Oh, no, that's dusty, you know? And it's a lot of negative thoughts. So that kind of leads me up to Marie Kondo, who wrote the book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. It was released in 2004 and it went viral.
Oh man, I know so many people who are like her disciples.
Yeah. And she mentions this, that our stuff has energy. All right. So she believes, I mean, this is really getting into the hokey stuff, but that our objects actually are like energetically affecting us. And if you have a negative thought whenever you see something, let's say you have a dress that someone gave you, you hate it, or you have a negative association, every time you open that closet and you see it, you get a negative emotion from that object. Whereas let's say you got rid of it and you only have beautiful things or things you really liked in your closet, your feeling would be so different. So just like your feeling is different now with the new open, like it's a family room or living room now, right?
Right.
It's the use it was supposed to be, right? I think that's kind of what she was trying to explain to people, and that went viral.
Well, yeah. I mean, I had the book, but then I lost it in my clutter. I think that it has since been devoured by the area behind my bedside table. It's somewhere back there. But yes, I remember this book when it was purchased. And I think I remember sort of leafing through it and looking at stuff, and it did make sense to me. Didn't she also say to not declutter by room, which is what a lot of people tend to do when they're organizing, is they go room by room. She actually says to declutter by category.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
So I'll go into the Marie Kondo tips now, because this is probably going to be the bulk of where I got my tips.
Okay.
So
yeah, I want to hear it.
I'll give you... I highly recommend her books because her books are so detailed.
So books? So it's not just one book?
Sorry, just 2 books. I'm talking about the life-changing art, the life-changing magic of tidying up.
Okay.
Has a lot of details and really good resources.
Okay.
Basically, any excuse you come up with in your mind, she's got something to come back with.
All right.
One of the most common excuses is what if.
Oh, what if I need this? Should I just save this? Because you never know when you need it.
And she's got to come back for that.
What is it?
Which is, what if is the same as you will never. Okay?
I don't believe that one bit. Let me tell you why, Wanru.
Okay, tell me.
Because there have been many a time when I have saved something for more than a year. Because isn't it like 1 year? They're like, if you haven't used it in a year, you're never going to use it.
No, she has a different criteria, but go on.
Okay, so yes. So I have been able to use multiple times things that have been in my closet for years.
So you were originally going to throw it away, but then you said, what if ... Is that what happened?
Yeah, like I was looking through my closet. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should throw this away according to Marie Kondo. Then I'm like, nah, fuck her. So I just put it back. Sure enough, I needed it. Not right away, but ultimately I did.
But let me ask you another question, Golda.
Yes.
How many times have you opened up your closet and struggled to find something? Or spent more time rummaging around for the thing you needed because of all the items in your closet.
Sure. And this is why I have this problem of laying things out everywhere so I can see it visibly.
So now, because the closet cannot be utilized for its original purpose, which is storage, you have now sort of
laid it out. Laid it out everywhere so it looks like a Macy's. In the bedroom.
So you've co-opted other spaces.
Yes.
Which could be used for other purposes.
But then I use it. I use the stuff. Yeah. But it's just everywhere.
So Marie Kondo's comeback would be something to the effect that all that energy you're putting into to try to find your item, because you're burdened by it every day, does not really justify the what if scenario, because every day you're being inconvenienced, but one time in a year you might need an item. It's a lot of daily drain just for once in a while. And she goes, and things are so readily available now. And if you need anything, you can get it within a day or 2 days.
That's something I heard too, that if you're debating whether or not to stock up on something, if it's something that you can get at the grocery store in like 5 minutes, then you don't have to stock up on it.
Exactly.
You could just get it at the grocery store.
Right. Exactly.
Is that right?
I have heard that if you can be replaced or, substituted.
Yeah.
Substitution is also very good. Because
but you know what? Let me give you a real. Let's keep it real here.
All right, let's push back a little bit on this.
Let's keep it real with the whole like if you can replace it. Okay, so let's just say you're in the bathroom.
Okay.
And it's after your morning coffee.
Yeah.
And you feel so good because of what just happened. Let's just say, I don't go into detail.
Okay.
And you reach for the toilet paper and it's a thin roll.
Yeah.
That you didn't even realize it when you sat down on the toilet.
Yes.
And you're reaching for the toilet paper and it only has maybe 5 squares.
Yeah.
But you had a lot to eat the previous day and it may not have come out as clean as you would like.
Is this a hypothetical?
I'm just saying hypothetically.
Purely hypothetically.
I'm not going to think to myself, I am so glad that I am a minimalist.
And I'm 5 minutes away from Ralph's.
And I'm only 5 minutes away from Ralph's. When a bunch of stuff is going on in my butt and I just want to get it out.
That's hypothetically.
Hypothetically. I'm not going to be thinking about the benefits of minimalism when I need some fucking toilet paper to wipe. Do you know what I'm saying?
See, but the thing is, I don't think anybody's telling you to be a minimalist on toilet paper, deodorant, toothpaste.
But if you were to use that rule of thumb, which is whatever you need, you don't need to stock up because it takes up space, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you don't know when you're going to need it.
But there's a difference.
It's good to be ready. It's good to be ready.
There's a difference between having like an extra pack, like let's say 6 rolls, and having a garage full of toilet paper. There is a difference, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I could understand wanting to have extra 6 or 12 rolls of toilet paper.
Yeah.
I won't be like, you're nuts.
You're
girl.
a hoarder.
You got to go to a psychologist because you've got a problem. Whoa.
Okay.
We're a little out of control here.
So 6 rolls would be okay.
If you had half a closet full of toilet paper,
okay,
I would not think it's outrageous.
But see, six rolls of toilet paper, it takes up a lot more space than that extra 2 blouses that I want to keep.
I understand.
See?
I understand. But having the space to house that much toilet paper will be easier if your closet is more open, right?
Right. I see what you're saying.
So everything's a spectrum. Again, this is why we're advising these things more in a more, how should I say, take it or leave it. But I'm just trying to expound the benefits.
Okay.
Most of us have enough of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just talk about backup items. I have so many feminine hygiene products. I literally at one point was like,
she's as clean as a whistle, folks.
No emergencies for me. I literally, this is no joke.
That's good. That's very good.
Because I had so many and it was getting, my little cupboard was getting kind of cluttered.
Okay.
And you know me, I don't like to have too much clutter.
Right.
I literally thought about going to work and opening up that emergency feminine napkins things and putting it in there.
Oh.
Or just setting it out and be like, for you ladies, when it's emergency, take it.
Yeah. Or put them in a box and then put them on the side of the road. So, you know, like you put like your sofa out there. Free. Or like that old CD tower that you want to get rid of. You just put it out in the street.
With the box of organic.
Hang it. Organic tampons.
Organic tampons.
There you go.
Right. But that's my point. My point is, I think nowadays our issue is not lack. It's abundance.
Okay.
So let's let go of that lack attitude and go into the abundance attitude. So Marie Kondo, there's so many details and actually explanations of how to do it.
Okay.
I would say this is my version of Marie Kondo.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Unless it brings you joy,
yeah,
there's no reason to keep it around. That's one of her main things.
Okay.
Because she goes, all these degrees of lukewarmness, maybe, what if, whatever. It's a lot of mental energy for one thing.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I could use this pen. Oh, it's kind of dry. Maybe if I shake it a little bit, it'll start working again.
Or the match. Have you ever put a match underneath it to get the ink going again? Man, I got a lot of pens.
A lot of pens. I got 1,000 pens. But
I do have a lot of pens.
Maybe this one will come into handy, right? There's a lot of mental energy associated with our stuff.
Okay.
How to keep it, who gave it to you. Oh, maybe it has a memory associated with it. So one of the great takeaways is that it doesn't have to be so complicated. Like, how long has it been since I've used it? The criteria is, do you love it? If you love it, you keep it. That's straightforward.
Okay.
The other stuff, donate, throw away, whatever.
Okay.
Another thing that she helped a lot with is releasing the guilt from your stuff. Your stuff makes you feel guilty.
Why would it make you feel guilty?
Have you ever looked at something and said, I spent so much money for this and I never use it?
Oh, yeah.
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 Makes you feel bad, right?
Yeah.
Or someone gave you something and it's really not your taste. And you're like, oh, it's not really my taste. I can't use this.
Yeah.
And you keep it.
Because you feel guilty getting rid of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So she gives you a technique for that. What you do is you take the item, like I'm going to take
throw it out your window and don't look at it.
And don't look who's under the window. Just check it out. No, she says to take the item in your hands that you're going to throw away and thank it.
Oh, God. Really? Oh, man. This is borderline hooey.
But
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Why would you do that?
Because you will have appreciated this item more than you will have ever done when it was sitting in the back of your drawer, getting jammed up back there and falling down the back and collecting dust.
Okay.
By acknowledging it and then letting it go, it's a very good energetic cleanse.
For you.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I don't think that jacket cares. The jacket's like, what do I care? I'm a jacket. It's mostly for you.
It's for you.
Yeah. It's mostly for you.
Okay, fine. If you don't believe this stuff has...
Come on, Marie Kondo. Let's keep it real.
Okay, it's for you. So I'm going to do this with this pen right now, my Uniball Pilot pen, which I do love.
Are you going to get rid of it? Give it to me.
No.
I'll take it.
No, I already gave you one of these, Golda.
I know.
Where
Give
is
me
it?
one other one.
Where is it?
It's in the down.
Where?
On the desk.
What color is it?
Let me see your pen. Don't get rid of it.
I'm not kidding. I'm going to do the exercise with the pen.
Okay, let's do it.
Although I love it.
Okay,
What is the color of the one I gave you?
Pink.
Okay, good. I think she remembers that. Okay. See? Okay, yeah.
All right.
All right, it's very good. You passed the test.
Okay.
Okay, so when you hold an item in your hand, if it doesn't give you joy or you love it, you say, thank you so much. You were a gift and I appreciate it. I appreciate the thought behind the gift, but it's time for us to part ways.
All righty.
It works. I promise.
And then doves fly.
Yes. I swear it works. I swear. Then you can chuck away all your stuff without feeling bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the two things I learned.
So it's good to help. It's for you. It's your way to feel unburdened.
Correct. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. And then number 3, this is the real takeaway. This is what people don't realize about Marie Kondo because, you know, she's all these systems like of how to fold stuff and all this stuff. Okay. You will never experience true openness, lightness, mental clarity if you have a lot of stuff in your possession. Because the reason why you don't have to tidy up anymore, the reason why Marie doesn't have to tidy up anymore is because she has so few things. I mean, she might have...
Yeah, what does she have? Does she have a... Does she have any like a vacuum cleaner?
I think she might have one, like Swiffer or vacuum cleaner. But actually,
I'm sure she only has one.
Only one.
Are you sure she doesn't have it, and that she just doesn't hire somebody with their own that she doesn't have to store it?
Yeah, totally. But I've seen pictures of her house. Her bookcase has she's a certain number of books, like 5 books or something like that.
Are you serious?
So imagine how easy.
She only has 5 books?
I think she only, I forgot the number, between 5
smart?
and 7. She's really smart. She just checks
she goes
it
to
out.
the library maybe, huh?
Or she buys it and she gives it away, or she, like, she never keeps the book unless she feels like it's valuable and it might be a reference of which she only of which she only allows herself 5 to 7. Or I forgot how many she had. But imagine how hard is it to clean a bookcase when there's only 7 books on it?
Yeah.
Right? So this is really truly the key to Marie Kondo, is that she has so few items in her home, has so few items in her possession, that tidying is easy for her.
And, you know, you said this book came out in 2004, 2005?
Sorry, 2014.
Oh, 2014. So, and it's a New York Times bestseller, I'm assuming, and has made millions upon millions over in the entire world.
Yeah, actually, I just checked today on Amazon. It has a 4.5-star review, which is very good for Amazon.
Okay.
13,294 reviews.
Wow.
And still 4.5 stars.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that she is now a multimillionaire. She should give some of that money away.
She might.
Hey, now. Why would you need all that money, Marie Kondo? Why don't you, I'd like to see what sort of donations you've given. Because in regards to your money.
She might. Who knows?
I want to see it.
And you know what? If she's held
then I might believe it. I love you, Pen. I'm going to keep you.
You know what? I bet you if she held every single one of those dollar bills in her hand, I bet you it brings her joy. So she can keep it according to her own criteria.
But it's too much of the same thing.
That's actually what she would say. She would say, if it brings you joy, then you can keep it. That's the criteria.
Oh, so that if I have 1,000 things in my 900 square foot home that brings me joy, I can keep it?
Yes. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah.
If it was all Christmas decorations.
There is a inherent conflict of interest with what you enjoy and being able to keep it. You should be able to limit what you enjoy in order to maintain a sense of minimalism. Because what if I enjoy a lot of things? What if I'm a super happy person?
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
And I feel like I love everything.
She said, actually, if you love it, you can keep it. But the thing is,
and there's no limit.
I doubt you truly love everything, and I doubt everything brings you joy.
Or I might love a lot of things more so than the average person would. Maybe not at a quarter level.
Possibly.
But yeah. And would that still be an effective way of tidying up?
It would, because you would probably still eliminate a bunch of stuff. You know, one of her clients had a really good example. One of her clients was an opera singer, and she had a beautiful dress that she wore when she was at the peak of her singing career. And she goes, I can't fit into this anymore. It's literally of no use to me. And she goes, do you love it? She's like, whenever I look at it, it brings me so much joy. Where had it been previously? Stuffed in the back of her closet. So she goes, let us celebrate this item. So she created a special space in her walk-in closet to display the dress. And now it's like the centerpiece of her closet.
Oh, that's interesting. It reminds me of one of my old acting teachers in Manila, wonderful woman named Anna Lim. And she loved her wedding dress so much. She lived in a 2-story home that she encased her wedding dress in a glass case. And it was at the landing, the mid landing of her staircase. So every time, and it was lit from the bottom and the top. So you could see, and it was fully like flu, you know, what are those things? It was like a princess dress, I guess.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like nighttime and all the lights were off. And then you saw this, it looked like it was floating, the dress. It was a little creepy. Anyway, sidebar. So what you love, keep it.
Yeah. So if you literally, truly love 900 objects and it gives you joy, keep it. And then chuck the other 1,600 you have.
Well, you know.
And those 900 objects will be elevated because now they have a place. And that's another thing she would recommend, having a place for every item. Yeah. It would be easily accessible. Like, because I know where that is. Yeah. Just like that pink Uniball pen, you seem to know exactly where
I know exactly where it is.
And all the time you will have freed up, and the mental energy you would have freed up from looking at all the other piles of stuff in the way of the stuff you love.
You know, I give you a hard time about this, but actually, remember when I did finger through the book, the Marie Kondo's book, I did try to apply it.
Okay.
And the one thing that I did take away was that very fact, which was only keep things that you love, and the energies that are associated with certain articles of clothing or objects get rid of. Because I pulled out this skirt. Oh, it was a Jones, New York skirt that I had only worn maybe once. And the reason why I didn't wear it is because a former boss of mine from another company, before I've had a chance to wear the skirt, had the exact same skirt. And I hated her so much. She was a tyrant. She was awful. She was a horrible, horrible boss. And she had the exact same skirt and I never wore it, but I kept the skirt. And this was a long time.
How many years ago was this?
At least 6 years ago. And I still had the skirt because I couldn't bear to, it was the guilt thing. Like I couldn't bear to get rid of it because it's new. It's perfectly fine. It's beautiful, fully lined, really cute design. But every time I looked at it, it would remind me of this tyrant boss.
What a horrible memory, right?
And then I kept it for so long. And I'll tell you something, I got rid of that skirt and I it felt different.
Cool. Great.
Yeah. So I guess I get it. I get it. That I think I get it more so to get rid of the stuff that might have negative connotations. Like that, if you start from there, I think that's probably easier. Right? Then the ones that you're lukewarm about. The lukewarm ones are a little harder, but it's the ones that bring that negative energy. And then in contrast, there is a blouse I love.
Oh.
Love the blouse. It makes me so happy.
Why? Why does it make you happy?
Because it reminds me of Christmas.
Oh.
Reminds me of Christmas. And so I kept the blouse even though I don't wear it very often. I just like it.
That's perfect.
Makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get what she's trying to say. Yeah.
So if you cleared out all those meh items or, all these things, again, every time you're looking for something else, you see it, you touch it, it just such a mental clutter.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see what you need, takes seconds, or vice versa. You have your beautiful Christmas shirt like in a nice place. So you look at it and you move on to dressing and stuff. Those are a great way to just display and honor the items that you love.
Yeah.
It's like all this other stuff is preventing you from doing that.
Yeah.
So that's my take on Marie Kondo. You have to get into the book to get into more into the nitty gritty of how to do it. You're right. One of the things she recommends is to organize by category first. The first, meaning collect all of this one item. And
like socks. Yeah. Socks is the one of the first things that I did.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Because I felt like that was easy.
Yeah. And
like it's easy to like get rid of socks.
And what did you discover from collecting all your socks?
I have a lot of black socks. And a lot of cat socks. Apparently. And a lot of mismatched ones and a lot of where the form is no longer.
Yeah, holes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Why did I keep
are we
it?
doing that, right?
And now they have those socks, which I can't stand. I don't know if you have these socks, but they're like athletic socks where they have an extra sort of like band in the middle for the middle of your foot.
For the arch support.
I hate that. I have a fat foot. So it's as if they're encasing it's like as if my foot's a sausage and it's encased.
It's like pinching it right in the
middle. I'm like, ow. What happened to the loosey ones? The loose ones.
Those are called arch support.
I don't like those.
By the way, me and my mom are in a battle. Like, we're exactly like you. We're in the opposite ends of the sock spectrum.
Oh, you like it?
I like the tight and the weird ribbing and the different zones of the,
really?
The athletic socks.
Ooh.
My mom's on the other spectrum, which she wants it loose and baggy. like if it slides off her foot, no big deal. As long as there's no constriction on any part of her foot.
I'm with her. I'm with mama.
But yes, that's a good point. Why are we hanging on to these mismatched socks, which literally have no pair and yours taking up space?
And I have a ton of water bottles, like those water containers that are so like swell bottles.
Yeah,
swell bottles are nice though.
They are.
But why would I give them away, or why would I throw them away? They're perfectly fine.
Exactly. Do you use swell water? I've literally never seen you use a swell water bottle.
I do not use it ever.
So
brand new.
Let me ask you, are you respecting the swell water bottle by not using it and stuffing it wherever? Where is it now?
I don't know. Somewhere.
That's a really nice water bottle, Golda.
Yeah, sure is.
And you're disrespecting it.
Am I?
Instead of living out and about in the world and you're like, look at me drinking from this water bottle, it's just catching dust someplace.
Yeah. Well, when I find it, I'll give it away.
No, I'm teasing you. I totally get it. And for me too, this is something I work on. I'm not perfect. My house does not look like an igloo.
You're not like you don't have like the Martha Stewart house?
No, not at all. Not at all. But okay, this is what I have learned from my minimalism journey. So I did the Marie Kondo system. I didn't do it perfectly. I learned a lot. And what I still continue to do this day is before I buy something, I think, do I have a place for this in my home?
Oh, I never asked that. Maybe I should start there.
What would be the answer if you asked yourself?
I'll be like, ooh, this is cute. Done. In the basket.
And then when you go home, where do you put it? Shove it someplace.
I'll keep it in the bag, put it on the floor, and then hopefully somebody takes care of it.
So what I do, I wish I had someone to do that for me too. So what I do is
never happens.
Never happens. It stays in the bag.
It just stays in the bag for weeks. No, I'm just kidding. I actually take it out. But what were you going to say?
Yeah, exactly. These are all the normal process. This is not unusual, Golda.
Okay, good.
So it's okay to share these things. I think you're being very, very
Yeah,
brave.
I don't care. I don't care who knows.
Okay, so
be it.
I think, is there a place for this in my home? Is there a real need for it? Maybe I'll just put it back now and come back in a week. And trust me, most of the time, you forget all about it. You do not come back for that item.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'll shop on Amazon and I'll put things in my basket.
That's very satisfying without even pressing purchase.
And then you walk away. And literally a couple weeks you come back, you go, why did I put this in my basket?
Yeah.
Why did I need this?
I do that.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can refine that list. And if you really need something like wet wipes for your butt, or you can order it. It's okay. It's fine.
You can never have enough wet wipes.
It's fine. It's okay. The wet wipes and toilet paper is okay. So that's another thing I learned. And another thing I learned is that clutter grows clutter. I don't know how to describe.
It's like Goonies. When you would put water on the Goonies.
Yeah, Gremlins.
Oh, it's Gremlins.
Gremlins. Yeah.
Goonies is a whole other movie. Yeah, Gremlins.
Right. You don't just end up with one gremlin. They take over your whole house.
Oh.
So it is something you have to practice regularly, because even when you're not trying to collect a lot of stuff, it's like
before you know it.
Yeah, before you know it. And honestly, it is so much easier because you know where everything is, or in the general area. Like, I'll just give you the most simple example. I think everyone has one of those bags full of bags.
Oh, you mean like grocery bags?
And gift bags?
Oh,
it's a bag literally full of many little bags,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
So Ralph's grocery bag, gift bags. People have given you gift bags.
Yes.
Right? And I have a closet in the kitchen, which half of it is bags.
Okay.
So one day I pulled up all the bags from every corner of my house. The bedroom closet, the downstairs closet, drawers. And I was like, I have so many bags. I will never use these. Give these away as gifts. This is insane. Okay, so then I did the Marie Kondo method. I got rid of, like, I would say 75% of them.
Yeah.
I still have so many left after.
Yeah.
I've literally not bought a gift bag for like 3 years now.
Wow.
And those Ralph's bags and those reusable,
Those are handy.
I've never had to buy more. I have tons.
You have enough.
Yeah, and every time I look, I feel like my gift bag is getting more full. Like, how is that possible? Like, more stuff it's kind of growing.
Yeah.
So yeah, in general, it's been very helpful, because when I need a gift bag, I know where to go. But even then, clutter grows fast.
I have one to beat that.
Yes, tell me.
So we were trying to get rid of our grocery bags. We had bag upon bag, various sizes from various places, different places like Trader Joe's, Ralph's, wherever. We had Bloomingdale's, everything. Every store you could think of that has a bag, we had it.
Yes.
We had it in every color and every season.
Yes.
And so I took a bunch of bags and put them in my trunk, so that with the goal of driving to Goodwill and dropping it off as a donation, like here's, these bags for donation. Never got around to going to Goodwill. But what I did get around to was doing my normal grocery shopping. So I'd be taking the bag that I just put in the car to use as my grocery bag when I went to Ralph's.
That's okay. You didn't buy another grocery bag.
I didn't buy another bag. I just used the ones that I was going to donate to the point that now the 50 or so bags that were in my trunk that was supposed to be donated, they're no longer in my trunk because I've used all 50 of those bags with the various groceries that I have purchased over the weeks. So now it's back in the house, needing to be organized again.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, I can't win, Wanru. So I mean, I think that you're right when you say that it is a practice that needs to happen regularly. It's not a one and done kind of a thing. Like, okay, I clean out my closet, I'm good. I'm good for 10 years.
Exactly.
It's not like that, right?
Exactly. And again, this is about finding that right balance for you.
Yes.
Some people actually, there's a book opposing Marie Kondo that says not everybody can work with like one pen and one piece of paper, 5 books.
Yeah.
Some people need a little more disorganization in their life to feel cozy and comforted. Yes. So finding that right balance. But when your stuff is getting in the way of a lifestyle that you want, if you find yourself getting stressed out or like disorganized or you're losing time because of your stuff, then it's time to rebalance.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. I'd be interested in reading that counter to Marie Kondo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever hear about that that study that says that the more disorganized your desk looks, the more likely you are to be a genius? If that's the case, then I should have discovered many a cure for diseases by now. I would be a genius.
What does the llama researcher's desk look like?
Oh man, it must be like full of hay or whatever they eat.
Is it full of like llama
wool
figurines and wool? Yeah. Okay, so lastly, I just have a resource for you, which is the minimalists.com.
Ooh.
It's a free blog. It's written by Joshua Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus. I hope I'm saying his name, Nicodemus. And they have a minimalism movie on Netflix, which has become very, very popular.
Oh.
And basically, I forgot who it was, Joshua or Ryan, they're friends. Joshua was in his 20s or 30s, and he was just feeling empty. He made a lot of money. He's pulling a lot of money, living in a really wonderful house. Got the car, he had all the stuff, and he felt like he was on a treadmill. And then he started applying minimalism in his life, selling off his possessions, and realizing how little he needed to be happy. He downsized his home or whatever. Then his friend started asking him, like, why are you so happy? Why are you so relaxed? And he began to share his minimalistic lifestyle with him. And they're both now the founders of this blog. And I've seen pictures of their home. It's very basic. I mean, it kind of looks like a home, like where a person's about to move in. You know, like there's sofa.
Before it's being staged.
Yeah. Before it's being staged. It's got the furniture. It's got a few items, but you're like, oh, this person's still moving in. That's what their home looks like. But that's why people like model homes, because there's so few things in there and everything in there is so carefully selected.
Yeah.
So you can admire every single thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what their homes look like.
I think there's definitely a psychology behind why people are minimalists and why people are more comfortable with more stuff.
Oh, tell me.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking there's probably some psychology to that, and also some ricochet of how you behave and carry out your life based on those things.
Yeah, I was gonna say
foundational things like
if
that.
you maybe came from parents who were hoarders, I could imagine you really
would continue to be.
Or
not.
Or be the exact opposite. Like, I'll never be like that.
Interesting.
Or I know a lot of people who, for sad reasons, like due to poverty as children, become hoarders because of that scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
So it's all about finding, again, I keep saying this about over and over again, finding that balance, tipping point, right? That balance that makes you happy. And for me, I'm happier when I have less stuff. When my house is easy to clean and I can find everything I need. And for me, it feels really good to let go of things, to give things away to people I think might really need it, or just not see it. I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to see it anymore. I hate seeing piles of stuff. Yeah.
I know we were talking about stuff as far as decluttering and minimalism, but where else can you find minimalism other than just stuff?
Oh, I would say almost any part of your life. this is probably a whole nother topic, but
but just as an example, like where else?
That's why a lot of people meditate. It's just trying to get clear because our minds are very cluttered with to-do lists, emotions, thinking about the past, the future. But living in the present is a form of minimalism.
Excellent. Excellent point. I love that.
Yeah. So Golda, is there any other area of your life that you'd like to tackle in this podcast? You've already revealed so much. You revealed so much about your habits or whatever.
Yeah.
You've talked about your past, your relationship with stuff. Is there anything else you'd like to tackle?
I don't think so.
What do you think?
What do you think? Should I? I don't know. I can't think of anything.
How do you think you'll proceed from here? Do you think it's something you want like to try?
I think that...
and by the way, just to clarify, I do not think Golda has a problem at all. I've seen my neighbor's garage.
I don't think I have a problem either.
I've seen my neighbor's garage and you do not have a problem at all.
Well, I think there's definitely room for improvement because I noticed that I do feel lighter, more airy, happier, like my brain has more room to think about stuff when there is less stuff in the house. And I definitely see the value of that. And the other side of the coin is that I do operate from a, I hate to say it, but I feel like I do operate from a source of apocalyptic. Am I prepared? I'm the one that buys extra insurance. I'm the one that gets extra food. I'm not the one that will buy an extra refrigerator to store food. But I will say that whenever I go to a dinner party or a party at someone's house, if I look at the buffet spread, and if the spread is scarce, it makes me nervous.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I'm like, there's not enough food. There's 100 people here and there's only finger sandwiches and I don't see any more anywhere else.
And do you run out and get something from Costco?
No, I take all of the sandwiches. Take all of the sandwiches and, fuck the rest of the people. But anyway, yeah, I think that for me, I do see the value for that. And I've seen the reward. So I started cleaning out a room in the house. We started cleaning it out and we've been enjoying the fruits of it being
cool,
a lot more open and clean and just less stuff. And it's motivating once you do it. But you're right. It's a concerted effort to continue.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you'll move down from a 6 to a 5.
Yeah, baby steps.
Yeah, exactly.
Baby steps.
All right, well, thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Wanru. This is very helpful.
I feel like I learned as much about you as I did about minimalism.
I feel like I've learned a lot about you as well. Or maybe I learned minimally about you. Because that was what you would want, right?
Yes, exactly.
And now we've arrived at our segment that we like to call Girl, You Got To, where we talk about some life hacks, tips and tricks on how to proceed with life. So Wanru, what is your Girl, You Got To?
So this is so corny, and I'm sure you're all going to roll your eyeballs. I know Golda's going to roll her eyeballs at me.
Dare you?
Let
me roll my eyeballs now just at that comment.
You know what? Why don't I just roll it now just to get it out of the way, get that muscle urge out of it? I'm just kidding.
No, come on. You share.
Do something nice for somebody else.
Aw, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, why wouldn't I like that?
Yeah, okay. I was going to say it's the corniest thing, which is volunteering, right?
I love that.
Oh, you love that?
I do. I just came from volunteering, so I totally get it.
What did you volunteer at?
We went to volunteer at a really wonderful organization here in Pasadena called Young and Healthy.
What?
Young and Healthy. And basically what they do is they help little kids who are in economic straits, who are in families within economic straits, to get proper dental care and proper health care.
Actually. Oh, that's great. And how did you volunteer specifically?
Well, for this particular allotted time, we helped with their it's kind of like administrative type of stuff to kind of help get some of their administrative needs together. So we help for a couple of hours. But you can do a lot of different types of volunteering. And like they make these really cute pillows that they sell. They make ornaments, they make cards, they make a lot of different like craftsy types of stuff. And then you can also help volunteering with actual kids as well.
Cool.
So
cool. Yeah. And it's interesting. You guys offered your administrative skills, which goes to show you can volunteer with almost any skill that you have.
Yeah.
Right. Just about your time. And the reason why I brought this up is because my work participated in a fundraiser for blood disorders.
Okay.
And it's already great because we've already contributed so much money. It was great to see my whole company out there in full force. So that was really cool, right? Everyone there was giving their Saturday, their free time. But we didn't have a photographer this year, so they asked me to be the photographer.
Ooh.
Thank you, Fast Stone Image Viewer, for my image viewer of choice.
What is it?
Golda knows that I use this image editor called Fast Stone. Great program. Worst name ever.
Why would you name your company?
She can't get over it.
Mango Stone Viewer, whatever. I'm already bored talking about it.
Fast Stone.
Ugh,
what if it was?
horrible
You name it right now. Pick a better name for it.
We'll make your pictures look better, yo.
Oh my! So you've turned their name into like 5-word long name.
At least it's to the point.
It's actually much catchier, I must admit.
See?
Yeah.
See?
But anyway, so
you're the photographer.
I was a photographer,
which is a wonderful thing for you to do because you're a really great photographer.
Oh,
You've got a good eye.
I think I have the nicest camera of all the volunteers, and that's why I was volunteered. But also, I was happy to do it. So it's really interesting because it's not anything huge. I was gonna be there anyways.
Yeah.
And I already know how to take photos. They're not the best, but by the way, all the really good photographers from my company, they couldn't make it that day.
Oh,
no, for real. We usually have 2 or 3, of which I'm one, and the other 2 couldn't make it. But hey, whatever.
Well, I will say your company's lucky that they had you be their photographer.
Don't
you let anybody tell you differently, regardless of those other photographers that you think were better than you. I don't know about that. I think you've got a great eye. You've got an artist's eye.
Oh,
so
thank you. Yes. And also the pressure's on because there's no backup.
Oh, it was just you.
It was just me.
Oh, okay.
The other 2 didn't make it that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But because I had willingly volunteered in the past as the backup,
sure,
I got thrust into the limelight. Just like Glenn says.
Yeah, Glenn Surovich.
This is one of our guests. Everyone gets their moment.
Everyone gets a shot.
Everyone gets a shot.
That was your shot.
That was my shot. Literally. I got to get that shot or else I'll be in trouble. No, it was not that huge of a responsibility. I was happy to do it. And I decided to stake the exit, the finale of the 5K. And so every time someone walked by, I would photograph them as they were finishing the race.
Aw, that's awesome.
I got so many good vibes.
Oh,
people would wave at me. They would smile. Everyone was so happy because it was the end of the race. Maybe because they were done walking.
Yeah.
And they're going to go eat some pizza.
Yeah.
But everyone was in such great spirits. I felt good being there. They gave me such good vibes. I got such good photos. And it just feels good to do something for someone else. You don't have to volunteer. Try to do something nice for someone else. That's my girl you got to.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on that. I would love to see these photos.
Oh, yeah.
Are they already available somewhere? Or?
I will have to ask corporate if it's okay. We could share one of the event.
Got it. So this was for a nonprofit, though, that you...
Correct. We walked for a blood disorders disease.
Got it. Wonderful. I like that. I like being able to do something good for someone else. I'm always all about that.
Oh, and Golda does a wonderful thing every year, which is she gets a group together at her house. We make ornaments for trees, for Christmas trees, because she loves Christmas.
Yep.
And we go caroling at 2 convalescent homes near here, right?
We sure do. We bring them a lot of joy, and they sing along, and it's a good opportunity to get all of the friends together too, to do something, something nice for others. Yeah. I love that.
So, girl, what's your girl you got to?
Okay, so my girl you got to may be something that sounds a little bit familiar in previous episodes, but this is why I bring it up again, is because it's so important for me, And my girl, you got to have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Let me explain.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a bunch of stuff in the past that I have looked forward to, and it has driven me, through the weeks or months to get to that point. As an example, traveling, looking forward to that for months, right? And planning for that travel kind of keeps the spring in your step up a little bit, right? Something to look forward to. I remember when we bought tickets to see Adele in concert at the Staples Center. We look forward to it. We listened to her albums multiple times. We sang it in the car. It brought joyfulness to us. That was something to look forward to. The Christmas caroling that you mentioned, that's coming up. We're looking forward to that. That's another thing that brings joy in our lives, right? And then the next thing that's not as big of a thing is Christmas and the release of Mary Poppins the movie.
Oh, yes. Yes.
We're looking forward to that. So having something to look forward to, I think, is something that is very doable, right? And small and manageable. And it's worthwhile to think about those things and about how, it just puts you in a better frame of mind and a better spirit, I feel.
Put those things you might enjoy, plan them out, put them in your calendar.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend named Carol. We work together. Yeah. Same thing. She'll say, on a Monday, let's have coffee together on Friday. I'm going to go to La Monarca, which is one of our favorite bakeries here in South Pasadena. And she will pick up our 2 favorite or 3 favorite coffee drinks. And the 2 or 3 of us, whoever's available, will get together, a group of us, and we'll have a chat, eat some pastries, and drink coffee. That is not an expensive habit. And she drinks coffee every day, and so do I. So why not make it a little special, a little different? And she says it helps her get through to Friday sometimes.
Wow. See, sometimes it doesn't take much, right? But to have something to look forward to, I think is very doable and lifts the spirits and maybe will lift the spirits of others. Yeah.
So what suggestions do you have for things that people can implement in their lives so that they can look forward to? So you mentioned travel. And I would recommend maybe it doesn't have to be a huge vacation.
No.
Just go, one day. I'm going to drive out someplace, stay one night and drive back. Yeah. That would be very refreshing. I think that'd be very refreshing.
Yeah.
Right?
We do, a bunch of different places nearby here locally in Los Angeles or within a 100, 200 mile radius of Los Angeles. That's not too expensive and it's nearby. It's not going to suck up a bunch of time. So, you could do a lot for the small things. So I would suggest going on little mini trips. I particularly love being reinvigorated in terms of music and live performances. So if there are any bands or venues that have really wonderful music, whether it's classical, opera, country, rock and roll, alternative, electronic, whatever
you're into,
look at those opportunities to go and see these performances live. Yeah. And there's a difference in being able to see performances live or go to a play or a musical or, whatever's live or where you're with other people. I feel like that's really entertaining. Or even like my Adele example, if there is a musician or a performer that you particularly like, they usually sell tickets months and months and months in advance. I know you just recently got back from Bruno Mars.
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah.
Right? Wasn't that invigorating?
And I bought the tickets 6 months ago and I always had that to look forward to.
Right, right. And it's something that that you'll share with your friends to this day, right? So I would say those types of things and even smaller things like if there's something that you and your friends would like to volunteer to do, right? So we mentioned the Christmas caroling. That's something we look forward to every year as well, or anything else. And it helps to calendar those things so that well in advance when that's going to happen. Number one, so you have something to look forward to. And also so that if you want to incorporate or invite other people with you, you give them plenty of notice to be able to tag along.
Yeah. So I would say some other little tips. Again, these don't have to be huge things to look forward to, but I would say if there's an activity you enjoy, try to recruit some people, set a date in the calendar. No matter how many people agree to go, you're going. Like you're going to go. You're going to be there. So just say, hey, you know, I love baseball. I want to go to the batting cage.
Yeah.
I've got a couple people. If you want to join us, we will be there.
Yeah. Show up if you want to be there. If not, no problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For those who are more homebodies, you know, there are programs you love, but rather than watching them mindlessly, like whenever you have time, what about saying, Sunday, I'm going to set aside some time, 2-hour block to catch up on these shows that I love.
Outlander.
Outlander?
Sundays.
Where's that available on?
Stars.
Okay.
Stars with a Z.
Exactly.
Like Liza with a Z.
I've never heard of this show or this channel, but
it's a great show.
Okay. So
really
you go,
good.
Sunday's my Outlander night.
Yep.
You know it, right?
Come on over.
Make it an event for yourself. Like just saying, we're going to have that pizza ready or the food ready, cooked already, and then we're going to close all the blinds and, you know, we're going to make it cozy. Put Outlander on. Rather than what I usually do is I'll just watch my programs sporadically throughout the week.
Yeah.
You know, make it a little special event for yourself. You just savor it. Like, oh, I'm going to save that episode for this Sunday.
Yeah.
It makes it more special.
This is going to sound a little self-serving, but maybe even like every Tuesday that our podcast is out, make it an event. Make it a special thing, you know, for you and your friends or what have you.
Yeah.
You listen to me and Wanru in the car or at work or wherever, doing your chores, working out, running a marathon, I like to say. We're great for marathon runners, I've heard.
Sure, marathon trainers.
Yeah, and training. Yeah.
Yeah, not
exactly.
actually maybe when you're running the marathon.
No, you can do that when you're running a marathon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do I know? What do I know?
I don't know either, but because I don't run.
Yeah. And for those of you who run, you can look forward, sign up for a 5K. It's
a nice little training ground.
Great. Something to look forward to if you're into running. I don't really comprehend scheduling a run, but I know a lot of you love it.
Yeah, so, a lot of people love it.
So schedule a 5K. It doesn't have to be a marathon.
Yeah. So something to look forward to. So that's my girl. You got to.
So that concludes our episode on minimalism and decluttering. And I can't believe I talked so much about minimalism. It was supposed to be like, oh, lean and clean and concise. And I just talked so much about it.
Oh, that's okay. You're passionate about it. That's why.
That's true.
Because you love it. Therefore you talk about it.
It brings me joy.
It brings you joy. Yes.
So
Marie Kondo would be proud.
Oh, I would love to meet her. She's the cutest little Japanese woman.
Is she?
So Mari.
Hey, throw it out there in the universe.
Yeah. So,
no hard feelings, what I said earlier.
And she's got such a nice
demeanor.
Welcome.
You're welcome to come and join us if you so wish.
Yeah, she's such a nice demeanor. I think she would just sort of like melt you with her kindness, and all of a sudden you'd be throwing stuff out that you didn't even want to.
That would be a miracle.
That'd be a miracle.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to take. Marie Kondo to come to my house.
Yeah. So when you look back on this episode, besides for Marie Kondo, what will you take away?
Well, ironically enough, the things that I'm taking away are the things that you talked about that Marie Kondo talked about in her book. Regardless of how I ridiculed her and just completely annihilated the tenets of the Kondo way or whatever it's called.
My Uniball pen got hurt by you poo-pooing his feelings.
Oh.
My Uniball pen has feelings, okay?
I believe that the Uniball will get over it. I have faith that the Uniball pen will get over it.
Oh, but by the way, it's not even called a Uniball. It's a Pilot Rolling Ball Precise V5.
Oh,
oops.
See now, whoopsie.
See, sorry, Pilot. But anyways, go on.
My takeaway is definitely something. The reason why it resonates with me is because I've experienced it, which is to toss the things that are negative in your closet or that give you negative vibes, and then keep the items or things that give you joy and that you love. I actually, I believe that. Even though it's kind of corny, it's true. Like if look in your closet, look in your drawers, and if there are things that you love, and you would never part from, keep them. Who cares? right? And if there are things that are in your closet, you're like, ooh, that reminds me of that time when I got fired, then just get rid of it. Don't wear it anymore because you'll keep thinking about that time that you were fired or whatever. Or, oh, this is the blouse that I wore when I was dumped. Don't keep that blouse. Throw it away. You don't need it.
Exactly.
There's lots of other blouses in your closet.
Exactly.
So I would say those are the things.
There's peasant blouses, many of them that you can wear instead.
Prairie now, apparently.
Prairie blouses.
They're interchangeable, I think. They like to call them peasant blouses, but they're now prairie blouses.
Gotcha.
Hipsters are going to kill us all. What about you, Wanru? What are your takeaways?
Okay, so first of all, my takeaway, and thank you so much for sharing your personal story.
Of course.
But my takeaway is that the reason why our things, our stuff, our clutter, our material goods are so complicated is because it's not just the thing. It's the emotion and the thoughts behind the thing. Right? Yeah. So when you explain to me why you have, 6 packets of macadamia nuts, which are very delicious, but I'm like, why
did I say that? I don't think I said that. It's probably your observation. I don't even see the macadamia nuts anymore because I'm used to the clutter.
I was like, wow, she must really like these macadamia. You don't have 6, but I noticed you had a lot of macadamia nuts, like packets of them.
Yes.
And like I would buy that much for a party, like a big party. But I was like, maybe she just
like
doesn't.
A New Year's Eve party.
I'm not making fun of Golda, but after you explained to me how, if hypothetically at any moment your parent could lose a job, I mean,
it's good to have those nuts handy, right?
So portable, really handy. Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I mean that makes sense, and that's kind of why minimalism is an all life encompassing thing. It's not just your stuff; it's actually about your insides, how you feel and your thought processes. And it's about changing your relationship to your stuff and changing the relationship to the way you think about the world. So my takeaway was your openness to sharing that, your and understanding more your relationship to your things. But like I said, Golda doesn't have a problem. As a matter of fact, Golda told me something, and now I have this really nice image in my mind. If I may share.
Yeah, go for it. What is it?
I kind of want to implement it in my own life.
Okay, what is it?
Look, Golda likes to have a variety of lotions on her nightstand.
I do. I have at least 8. 8. It depends. It's like aromatherapy.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you have this ritual of putting on this lotion like at night and...
Yeah, more or less, sure. If I'm not too sleepy. But yeah, I like a lot of lotions.
I love that. So I love
it's important to be emollient.
So I love this idea of her, retiring for the night and saying like, what mood am I in? Am I in plumeria or raspberry or vanilla or Tahitian vanilla? Like what mood is she in? And she picks the fragrance that's her mood. And you know what? I was like, God, that's great. It's great. You have variety. You know what I have next to my bed?
What?
1 bottle of unscented Aveeno lotion.
Well, that's because you're a minimalist.
1.
Yeah, that's good.
I think 2 is okay. I think I'm not going to die.
Can you handle the 2?
I don't know. I think. Okay, I'll try it and I'll report back. I think I can.
I don't want your head to explode. It's like 2 bottles of lotion, nosebleed.
And by the way, the one I have is unscented. How unexciting.
Well, that's probably healthier, right?
It is.
Not a lot of toxins in there.
It is. It's because I have eczema. But anyways, my point is, I feel like you're enjoying your life. You're enjoying your nuts and your lotion, and you're enjoying your Christmas decorations. What am I enjoying? Blank wall.
Blank walls. Your 5 books.
I don't even have 5.
And all books are about decluttering.
I actually only own 3 books.
Overachiever. Overachiever. Next level, Marie Kondo. Disciple.
So regardless if you're more like me
or more like me,
it's all okay.
It's all good.
We're just happy you joined us for this episode.
Absolutely. And if you did like this episode, then we invite you to subscribe to us both on any podcast provider out there. Like what, Wanru?
iTunes, Google Podcasts,
Spotify,
Stitcher.
Yeah, we're all over the place. So no excuse. You can find us anywhere. If podcasts are not your preferred mode and you would like to see us and see what outfits we wear and what my eyeliner looks like and what colors look good on us, we are also available on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel called The Ganru Show. So please subscribe to us there. We're out every Tuesday at the stroke of midnight. That's when you get your brand spanking new episode. Feel free to rank us, rate us, provide a summary, shoot us a nice little 1 or 2 sentence review or more. We'd love that. What else, Wanru?
And also, just like my friend Al, if you want to email us, send us a message on Instagram or Facebook about future topics you're interested in or any cool little questions, any cool little tidbits you found, we would love it. It helps us so much.
Yeah, we would really appreciate it. We always love hearing from you. So bring it on, citizens.
Sweden. Taiwan.
Beijing. Thank you, Beijing.
Thank you so much. We are looking forward to hearing from you.
All right. Until then, I'm Golda.
And I'm Wanru.
And this has been The Ganru Show. Thank you. Bye.